Annie Idibia is the reason why, as a woman, you should never put up with infidelity. Because whatever you permit from a man would persist. My name is Dr. Zita. I am a sociologist. Welcome to an episode of The Talk with Dr. Z. I'll be right back. My name is Dr. Z. I am a sociologist. I'm quite popular on TikTok. So if you're not following me on TikTok, I'm going to put my TikTok handle in the description section so you can follow me there. But in today's episode of The Talk with Dr. Z, and this is going to be uncut, I'm going to be sharing my honest opinion with you all. Okay, so in today's episode I want to get into the details of Annieidibia. For those of you who do not know her, I'm sure you should know her by now. She is a cast member on the Netflix series Young, Famous and African. She is a Nigerian actress and I think a businesswoman. If you do not know Annieidibia, I'm going to put her picture up so you know who I'm talking about. And I'm going to talk about her recent divorce with Innocent Idibia. So let us get into it. For those of you who have watched Young, Famous and African, Annie shared her story in season 1 of the series. And she talked about how she met Innocent when she was 16 years old, and Innocent was her first love, her first crush, her first everything, her first kiss. And so she was obsessed and in love with him. When Annie met Innocent Idibia, Innocent was not yet Two-Face, the popular Nigerian who sang African Queen. For those of you who do not know Innocent Baba Idibia, he is the legendary Nigerian singer who sang African Queen, You are my African queen, the girl of my dreams. You take me where I've never been. You make my heart a ting-a-ling-a-ling. He sang that popular African Queen song that went global, all right? But the time Annie met Innocent, he was not famous. He was not yet Baba, which I think is a stage name. He was not yet Baba. He was just Innocent, the hustling artist trying to make it. But guess what? When he blew up, he started fighting the demons that come with being a celebrity. The fame came with struggles, okay? So I am going to share some key lessons that as women, we need to draw from the experiences of Annie Idibia. I have my tablet here because I made notes. And so I hope you guys like this video, hit the subscription button because I'm going to be bringing a lot of valuable content to you right here on this page. So let's get into it. I would say that the first lesson would be do not make life-changing decisions in your teens. All right? Because when Annie Idibia met Innocent, she was 16. At 16, your frontal lobe has not developed. The part of the brain that is responsible for making good decisions and prioritizing have not yet developed, okay, in your teens. That part of the brain develops in your mid to late 20s. And so, dear young women, especially for those of you who are in your teens, do not make a life-altering decision in your teens. It would backfire. You are too young. Listen to your auntie Dr. Z, all right? When you are in your teens and you think you're in love, you are not in love because you don't know anything about love. Believe me, I am in my late 30s and I can tell you, the older you get, the more you see men for who they are. Men are strategic. You cannot depend on men and men will always choose themselves. So dear young women in your teens, in your early 20s, do not make life-altering decisions at those stages of your life. The part of your brain that is responsible for good decision making and prioritizing have not yet developed. So take your time and make sure you are not making a life commitment in your teens. The second lesson is what you permit will persist. Whatever you allow a man do to you, he will repeat it because you lack self-worth and you lack boundaries. This was the case for Annie because Annie did not have self-worth. Whatever you allow a man do to you, he will do it again. Because when you look at their entire relationship trajectory, Innocent had 4 children before they got married. When the first baby and pregnancy came in, Annie was supposed to take a stand. But no, she forgave him, and guess what? The second pregnancy came, the third pregnancy came, the fourth pregnancy came. She stayed through it and she still married him. Whatever you permit will persist. Whatever you allow a man do to you, he will do it again and again. So ladies, stand on business. Cheating is a pattern. And when men cheat, they choose themselves and they choose their sexual pleasure and they choose their happiness. So make sure that when a man shows you a particular pattern, you nip it in the bud and you stand up for yourself and you have boundaries and you leave him alone. Because whatever you permit from a man, girl, it will persist. I am just saying. Lesson number 3. Be careful of the sacrifices you make in a relationship because some of the things you sacrifice, you can never take back. Some of the things you sacrifice for a man, Annie gave her youth, her most juiciest years to Innocent. You cannot take it back. So be careful of the sacrifices you make. Annie has been humiliated, embarrassed publicly, judged in the court of public opinion, and she put up with it. Be careful of the sacrifices you make. She was even at some point being called a drug addict on social media. And I did a video to support her. But whatever sacrifices you choose to make for a man, understand that you might not be able to take certain sacrifices back if that relationship does not work out. Currently, they are divorced. And look at all the sacrifices Annie made, putting up with 4 kids out of wedlock, multiple infidelities, and at the end of the day, the marriage did not work out. So be careful of the sacrifices you make for a man, because some of the sacrifices you make, it will destroy you and you can never recover from it. I am not saying that is the situation here. I am just saying be careful of the sacrifices you make for a man. Lesson number 4. Don't accept betrayal and then claim to forgive and later hold that betrayal over the head of your man. If you watched the Netflix series Young, Famous and African, season 1, Annie constantly kept bringing up Innocent's infidelity. Do not accept betrayal and then hold it over the head of the person who betrayed you. Because when you do that, you have not truly forgiven and you are still holding on. Anything that you know you can never recover from, do not forgive and then accept the person or continue the relationship only to be bringing it up. That is an unhealthy pattern. And that is something I observed Annie do a lot. She forgave betrayal and consistently kept holding that betrayal over Innocent's head. So whatever you cannot let go, just forgive the person for your own healing and move on. But don't say that I forgive you and then you later hold that betrayal over your partner. That is not very healthy. Lesson number 5. Men have no loyalty to women and they will move on quickly. Men have no loyalty to women. A man would be in the process of getting a divorce. And guess what? He would already have another woman on standby. A man will lose his wife and his wife's body will not even decompose. And this man would be sleeping with another woman. Men have no loyalty to women. The moment a relationship ends, the moment a marriage ends, my dear sister, this man is going to have another woman, he will move on quickly. Always remember that in your relationship with men, that men have no loyalty towards women. Men have loyalty towards themselves. Men will choose themselves. They will choose their own happiness. So when a relationship doesn't work out, a marriage doesn't work out, or you pass away as the wife of a man, guess what? He's going to move on with another woman real quick, because a man's loyalty is to himself. Men have no loyalty towards women. Now, let's go on to the next lesson. The next lesson is a man will propose to the woman that he wants. You see, one of the biggest lessons I have taken away from Annie Macaulay's life and her dynamic with Innocent Idibia is the fact that a man will propose and choose the woman that he wants. Annie had to endure several acts of infidelity to be able to get the ring. When Annie Macaulay married Innocent Idibia, their first child was his fifth. He had 4 kids with other women before he gave her the ring. She endured, suffered, put up with infidelity for that marriage. And as a result, she had to endure during the entire marriage. I am just saying. But a man will move on fast. Currently, Innocent is parading a lady called Natasha on social media, and they are already in preparations to get married. So, dear ladies, always remember, a man will marry the woman that he wants. If you have to beg, if you have to endure disrespect, you have to endure betrayal for you to get the ring, then you would have to endure during the entire duration of that marriage or that relationship. When a man wants you, he will easily give you a wedding ring or a marriage. But if you have to endure to be able to get that marriage, you would endure during the entire duration of that marriage. So remember that if you have to beg, plead, and endure a lot to be able to get a man to marry you, sis, just move on, because a man will marry the woman that he wants real quick without her putting in a lot of sweat, just like we are seeing in the case of Natasha. Natasha has not gone through anything devastating or multiple infidelities with Innocent, but she already got a ring and they are preparing to get married. Ladies, always remember, a man would easily give you a ring if you are the one he truly wants. Do not beg, do not endure disrespect, suffering, and betrayal for a ring. It will not work out in the long run. I am not sure what lesson number we are on, but the other lesson I have to share is when you sit in shit for too long, it stops smelling. Anytime you are sitting in shit for too long, it stops smelling. My point is, when you are in a dysfunctional and a toxic relationship for a prolonged period, you do not realize that you are in a dysfunctional and a toxic relationship. So the moment you realize that that relationship is not healthy for you mentally and emotionally, you have to have the courage to end it, because once you sit in shit for too long, it stops smelling. Anytime you are in a dysfunctional or a toxic relationship or marriage, dysfunctionality and toxicity begins to feel like the norm. It would feel like your norm or the normal pattern for you. So make sure when a relationship is not good for your mental and your emotional health, you are able to leave before things get worse. And this is one thing that women do not realize. A relationship will not get better. A man would not get better. Whatever you are seeing in that relationship, it will get worse. So when things are not working out, stop sitting there saying, oh, I am praying to God, it's going to work out. It will not work out. It will not work out. Choose yourself and be able to walk away. The final lesson I want to share when it comes to the marriage and the relationship that happened between Annie Macaulay and Innocent Idibia is to believe in patterns. Believe in patterns, believe in patterns, believe in patterns. Patterns will always persist and patterns will always show itself. Patterns indicate who a person is. We are, as individuals, we are a totality of our decisions and choices. So when you see a particular person demonstrate a unique pattern, believe the patterns. Innocent Tubaba Idibia consistently showed Annie that he was not a faithful man. And he said this publicly in the Netflix series Young Famous in African Season 1. And he said, you can love a woman, but you might be somewhere and then you're horny and then you sleep with the woman you don't love. You know, your penis makes that decision for you, but you can love your woman and still sleep with other women. That is what he said. My point is that is innocence mindset. And therefore, that particular pattern consistently persisted in their relationship and in their dynamic. Hence, he had 4 kids before he married Annie Macaulay. So believe in patterns. Dear ladies, when you start dating somebody and you see a particular pattern, believe in those patterns. And if it is not good for you, leave the man alone. But do not be under the delusional fallacy that, oh, it will get better, things will change over time. Patterns are a reflection of who a person is. So believe in patterns. This brings me to an end of this episode of The Talk with Dr. Z. I hope you got a lot of valuable lessons. Hit the notification button. If you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please support this channel. My goal is to be putting out content consistently every week. So hit the subscription button. Do not forget to engage, right? Engagement is good. So engage with me in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the relationship and marriage dynamic between Annie Macaulay and Innocent Idibia? They are currently divorced, but what are the lessons that you took out from their public tumultuous relationship and marriage? My name is Dr. Zira. I am a sociologist. Thank you so much for spending time with me, and I will see you on another interesting episode of The Talk with Dr. Z. We only keep it real right here. So yeah, thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I wish you a wonderful day. Take care. Cheers. Bye.